okay, what is the reason for us to do an event? And there are good reasons, right? So we want to sell or we want to educate, down to we've always done this event for this audience, so we'll now do it again. Now, the pandemic has forced us to rethink that and also explore the abilities of digital. And they're really, they're amazing if done right. Of course, you can reach many, many more people with digital than you can do in a physical environment. However, it is super difficult to engage with those people. Like we see that, first of all, I think 1/3 to 50% of people that register but never show up. Or they just show up for the keynote. And then they show up, they don't spend an hour, they maybe spend 20 minutes or so. And the engagement, we're trying to measure the engagement with, did they ask questions in the chat? Did they attend one or more sessions? Did they interact with other participants online, etc.? But we're not really good at measuring how much are we actually building community through that. How much do we change the brand perception? I mean, we can measure that too, but what are we really reaching, in those individuals when we do it online? And I think the challenge for the future is to get the mix right.
There's certain content that can be delivered online, for sure. And I think looking at what we've done the past 2 years and to some extent the legacy we've built for the next coming years, where we decided to have 99% of our content that is generated from our activities available online, either live or on demand, is a clear statement that online education is and remains a very important part of our mission and the delivery of our purpose. However, I think not everything can be online.
We have to consider some logistic difficulties that we have in these days. They could be politically, because of war, because of political pressure, like the Taiwan situation. But they could be also related to the flight fares. So because we are living in a period in which the cost of travels are going up. Therefore, hybrid event could represent a partial solution to these global problems involving our meeting and congresses.
Getting that mix right and also finding out what's for who, right? Who are the people that would need primarily to be in person and who we need to, directly interact with and want to directly interact with, versus who are the people that, can afford to basically stay home and not invest that money and the time to get the information that they want or that we would like them to have. But at the end of the day, I think this mix needs to be, that will be increasingly important to get that balance and mix right, because also people will start to compare, right? So I got that experience at that event, now I'm getting this at this event. And that's another, a competitive thing that we also need to take into consideration here.
Everyone is talking, let's go virtual, let's have a hybrid solution. But again, a hybrid solution costs 2 times the money. To be honest, the main meeting are between 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 delegates, where you have, let's say, 70% of all the conference industry in this bucket, let's say. And then you have, of course, more than 4,000, 6,000, and then you reduce the number. More you focus on this conference segment with the majority, I can say that about 60–70% don't have the money to do hybrid. They wish to do hybrid. The problem is, especially as a PCO, we are the consultant, that come to us and say, well, as a PCO you can provide. They say, yes, we can provide, but again, we are talking about double of the cost. You need 2 different types of digital event specialists. You need different setup, the EV and so on. So again, this is all the aspects you have to think. About income and can I have, or is it a must-have, or is it nice to have?
My name is Catherine Calamides. I work for the Rotterdam Partners Convention Bureau as an account manager for the acquisition of international conferences and events, specializing in multiple sectors. At the end of last year, we all thought, we knew for sure that we wanted live to come back, and we were all for live and potentially some kind of hybrid meeting. that multi-spoke hybrid concept, nobody was in for it. That is also confirmed more or less by the client bases, because they don't want to deal with 4 conferences in one. The business model is too difficult to manage, and that's a relief for destinations. On the other hand, we all ran, headfirst toward enhancing our venues, enhancing our destinations in different ways. And you've heard from the students as well feedback. For example, you could create a kind of consortium between the venue, the DMO, and some kind of a technology provider, so sort of pop-up solution. Other venues have actually built it into their properties, and we've heard from colleagues who've said that it was a solution for that time, at that time, for those needs, and that it's not really sustainable to maintain square meterage for something that may or may not be used. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2nd edition of the Rotterdam Experiment, as we take a deep dive into gamification for events. And during this session, we will all engage in an ambitious mastermind brainstorm session, which will include gamification elements to help us dream up the answers to the key question for today. What does your event of the future look like using gamification?
Have we done it right for the past 2 years? I feel like a lot of that we did digital was just taking what we wanted to do in person and putting it online. Same speaker, same presentation. I'm not sure if everybody really leveraged the people and thought leaders and experts in digital experience that have done this for 20 or more years. So if I think about the gaming industry, they've worked in the digital event space forever. They're really good at broadcasting those games. They're really good at, I think, creating this hybrid experience where they have an audience in the room, but still, transmitted outside. It's always like this one format, right? It's the game is in the center of it. But I think there's a lot that we can learn from that industry to improve what we do in events.